Hello, everybody. My name is Keith Gibson, owner and operator of Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I welcome you to the premiere edition of Backroads and Barstools.
Bands and musicians have traveled America's back roads for decades, entertaining those who sit on bar stools along the way. Tonight, we introduce you to America's bands and musicians right here in Central Illinois. This is Clubhouse Lounge Radio's Backroads and Barstools.
Welcome, everybody, to the premiere edition of Backroads and Barstools. I am Keith Gibson with Clubhouse Lounge Radio, and I'd like to welcome in our guest this week from Whitehall, Illinois, originally. It is Scott Fair, Steve Vincent of Midwest Avenue. And gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on Backroads and Barstools, being basically our guinea pigs as we start this up. So we do appreciate you. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fantastic, Keith, and appreciate you having us on. And we're excited to be the first ones, and excited for all the fun things you got going on at the Clubhouse Lounge. And yeah, we're ready to get talking to you and get to know you a little bit better, and vice versa.
Well, I think everybody's got to get to know us well, and I appreciate that. And this is a laid back session. We're gonna get to know you guys. In fact, I love one of your new songs that you put out in November, County Roads. If that isn't a definition of just Illinois and the Midwest, I don't know what is. I love that song just because it's just, it's partying like the 4th of July, county roads, back roads is what I grew up on. So let's
yes, sir.
How did you guys get together?
As a band? Well, we are actually all related. Steve here is you're my third cousin. And the drum player is my dad and Steve's second cousin.
Okay. So you guys have grown up together then? Somewhat.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
So how did music come into play with all of you guys then?
Man, I started playing drums because of his dad, really. That was my first instrument, was drums. And so I've just been around his dad. We grew up together and stuff, and been playing music for over 30 years now, really,
Was it something, Steve, that you picked up in high school and played in like the high school band with drums, or was it something that you picked up afterwards?
No, it was way before. I actually started with drums. I mean, just as soon as I was walking, I was playing drums. And then I actually started banjo when I was around 10. And guitar in my mid-teens, and then fiddle around 20 or so.
Well, you got just a plethora there of different instruments you get to play. That's awesome.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love it.
Scott, what about you?
Yeah, well, I started out taking piano lessons and got bored with that, learned how to play guitar, and started writing songs in high school, junior high, middle school time frame. And my dad was always on the road traveling, playing drums, and I knew of Vincent. Steve, he had his own Christian album out at the time. And so they were all successful in their own rights before we all joined together. And then once we got together, it's kind of ironic how it all kind of came together. Me and my dad had played together before, but me and Vincent had never played together before. And we were scheduled to go on a USO tour to Bogota, Colombia, and Tegucigalpa, Honduras, to play at the Air Force Base in Honduras and the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. And my dad ended up not being able to go on the trip as the drummer. So I remember running into Steve here and asked him if he'd be interested in playing drums on the show. And we had 2 weeks of practice, and we flew all the way there and did like 4 or 5 shows.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, so Steve actually was playing drums, and then came back to the States, and then we joined up as a force, and Steve Vincent went on to play in keyboard, banjo, and fiddle and singing, and the rest is history.
So what year did Midwest Avenue kind of all come together then?
It's hard to put a date on it. If I had to say 2010, 11, that time frame, because there was about a year in between. I'd say 6 months to a year between the USO tour, and then us getting out and doing shows and putting out original music.
What's one of your favorite things? What's one of your favorite venues you guys have got to play so far?
Aside from those two shows, Steve, I'll let you pick a couple venues and then I'll
go. Well, Marley's is not open anymore in Springfield. That was always a fun one.
Yes, sir.
And anytime you got people dancing on top of bars and
usually I got to pay for that.
I know, but I'd never been in that kind of atmosphere, I guess, where it was just that kind of craziness where mainly girls were walking up and down the bars and stuff, on top of the bars and stuff. I don't know, that one always kind of sticks out to me. But I mean, Bogota was a big one too,
Oh yeah, playing on that stage in front of the U.S. Embassy it's hard to beat that. It's hard to beat. For me, it's really hard to say because we played so many good places. But one that sticks out to me, and I still talk about it to this day, is way out in the middle of nowhere. And Keith, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this county. It's Calhoun County.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, Steve knows where I'm going with this. There's a little bitty town that I don't even know if it's on the map. It's called Hamburg, Illinois. And there's a place there, and it's called the Palace. It looks anything like anything else but a palace. And I tell you, we've had some of the funnest nights playing there. It's been some time since we played there. But I'd say like more recently, a lot of times we love playing a Vandy's Motel in Naples, Illinois. It's I call it like the hidden gem of Illinois. You can go there daytime or nighttime on the weekends and catch some incredible acts. And it's right there on the Illinois River. That's a big one. We've been playing there since they started having bands, I think. And yeah, but those are the ones that really stick out to me. And Georgia's and Jerseyville's always been good to us. We've had a lot of good support from the venues. And more recently, Time Out in Troy, Illinois has been a favorite one of mine. But I think next month, we're playing Silver Creek Saloon in Belleville, Illinois, and that's a big show for it. So we're excited for that one, too.
I've been to the Silver Creek Saloon. I think you guys will have fun there. It's a great venue. Great venue. So you'll enjoy that. Has COVID and things kind of go ahead, Scott.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to throw a little nugget in there. Aside from like shows that we played as a band, me and Vincent here, we were actually part of a backing band for another local area artist, and she opened up for Scotty McCreery at the Champaign County Fair, and that was a blast. Yeah. We were playing in Gracia Harrison's band.
That's right here in my neck of the woods.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always a good time. They have some great acts that come through here as well, and it's always fun. I love that you guys travel so much and get to different places and go to different venues. What I was going to say though is, has COVID and some things, the pandemic kind of slowed you guys? I know with bars and everything, has it really slowed you down a whole lot, or have you still been able to play quite a bit even with everything going on the last year or two?
Well, it kind of hit us at first, like it did everybody that first year. That just we didn't have any dates hardly, But it's slowly kind of been coming back. This year is looking better. So.
Yeah, we had a couple venues that really stuck through the pandemic and kept booking acts and still put on shows and just muscled through it. And so we played, like Vincent likes to claim, we played more shows than Garth Brooks in 2020.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yep.
Right.
I think the first show we played once the pandemic started was actually in our hometown of Whitehall. We did an outdoor concert in the spring at the local nursing home for all the residents there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You guys from Whitehall. Tell me about Whitehall. Big city, little city? What should they know about Whitehall, Illinois?
Steve, I'll let you take this one, then I'll carry up on the back end.
Well, it's just a typical small town. I mean, stuck in the middle of cornfields, town of about 2,800, I guess.
On a good year.
Yeah, on a good year. It's all about farming and, a couple of restaurants. That's about it, I guess,
Yeah.
Really not a whole
Yeah, I'd
lot.
say whenever people ask me about my hometown, I always say, we used to have 3 banks. Now we're down to 2. We have 3 gas stations. We do have a Chinese restaurant, which is very amazing. Shout out to Panda. And we have a couple local restaurants there, family style, and one that's kind of like Dairy Queen, but it's not. It's called Main Street Cafe. But yeah, it's a good hometown area, great place to grow up. It's like every other small town. Football is king on Friday nights when you're in high school. A lot of great people there. Yeah, I'm just happy to be from there.
It's always home, isn't it? No matter where you go, it's always home.
Yes, sir.
I hear you. I know the exact same feeling, and you get the support from your hometown community no matter where you go and what you do, and it's always great to do that. Let's talk about some of your songs. I love County Roads, one of my favorite ones. And if you haven't heard it yet, make sure you go on to chlradio.com. It's on the playlist. Make sure you click on and listen to that. What's some other songs you guys have had? I know you did a Christmas one not too long ago. Amazing Grace and Little Things, right?
Yep.
I enjoy that as well.
Yep.
What's some other things that we have maybe listeners don't know?
As far as ones that have been released?
Yeah. Well, what's some other songs you got out there that they can look up and listen to Midwest Avenue?
Yeah, I would say Night Roads and Red Wine. Red Wine to me is like it was one of our first songs that we ever did, original wise, and has an amazing fiddle part on it. It's like the perfect love entanglement story, and it's to me it's always been kind of one that we've never really gotten rid of. Whenever we put some other ones to the side, and Night Roads is a blast to play live. It's kind of country rocky up in the Eric Church lane of things, I'd say.
That's all right with me. I like that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah, those 2 to me right now. Cowboys Say Goodbye, which has been out for a little bit, and we have some more on the way. And you mentioned County Roads earlier. A little caveat to that story: that song was part of a 5-song studio session with us on it, and on the drums, actually, on that song, you hear Darren that used to play for Brushville, and on bass is Mark Broomby, who is with Brushville. And the lead guitar parts actually were not done by me; they were done by Slim Gamble, that plays in Lady Antebellum's band.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Wow. Well, it's a great song.
Steel guitar is Rusty Danmeyer. For years he's still in Leanne Rimes' band whenever she plays. But yeah, and then I don't know if you ever heard of a band called The Maze.
I have not, but maybe I should.
Yeah, they're from Springfield, and their 2 lead singers did some background vocals on it as well.
Boy, it's just a collaboration. Well, it's a great song. I love it. But I heard some snippets of another song that you guys played live in front of a live crowd called Redneck Heaven.
Yes, sir.
Yeehaw. And you know what? When I listen to that, boy, it makes me want to drink a beer and it makes me want to party. I like that song a lot. So if you haven't heard that one either, I'd make sure you listen to that. But gentlemen, I'm not going to keep you long. I appreciate you. What do you got coming up here in the next month? Where can people go out and listen to Midwest Avenue here coming up soon?
Yeah, well, real quick on the Redneck Heaven thing, the song has been going over great live. We have not released it as a single yet. We're actually going to record it soon, and it'll be out early summer.
Okay, well, I'll be looking for that one.
And as far as upcoming shows go, we are playing in Jacksonville, Illinois on the 29th of January at the Vet, which is the Ambits there in Jacksonville. If you're in our hometown, this Saturday, January 22nd, Steve Vincent's he's put on a Christian show in our hometown, And then I'll be gone to Hawaii for a week or 5 days in February. Then we got Silver Creek Saloon in Belleville on the 11th. And then Good Times in Dubo, Illinois on the 19th of February. Then we're up in Macomb, February 25th at the Elks Lodge. And that's kind of what's kind of coming up on the horizon for us.
Well, I like the Elks Lodge up there. I was a former Elks member myself and been all around the state, and great people up there. You'll have a good time there as well. But Scott and Steve,
I'm excited. I appreciate Mabel for getting us in there.
I appreciate you guys coming on the first edition, the first session of Back Roads and Bar Stools. And I look forward and I wish you guys nothing but the best moving forward this summer. You guys know if you ever need anything from me, you got it. If I ever need anything from you, I'm going to reach out to you. Keep doing what you're doing because you're doing awesome. I love your music. Sure. Absolutely love it. And I'm going to be excited for Redneck Heaven. You're going to have to let me know. We're going to have to pump that out big time on the website and everything because that is a great song that I've just heard snippets of that I'm ready to party to. So, Scott, Steve, thank you very much, gentlemen. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. And we'll get ready for next week's show of Back Roads and Barstools here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.
It's nights like these I'm gonna remember in December, seeing you right there in the moonlight. Your hair pulled back, just gotta get one more kiss. Taste the lime on your lips before this night ends. With the windows down, heat on the floor, gonna party like it's July 4th. Cruising down these county roads, not worried about where we go. Yeah, baby, let's roll. I got that rock and roll. Yeah, baby, let's roll. Tear up these county roads. With these county roads. I remember fireflies, mason jars in my backyard. Watching that storm roll in, the lightning crashing on the front of the backswing. Watching, I could tell there was no stopping the way this night would end. With the windows down, heat on the floor, gonna party like it's July 4th. Cruising down these county roads, not worried about where we go. Yeah, baby, let's roll. I got that rock and roll. Yeah, baby, let's roll. Tear up these county roads. These county roads. So pull over on the side of the road, wrap my arms around you, and I pull you in close. With the windows down, heat on the floor, gonna party like it's July 4th.